So I've once again begun enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh! The rabbit hole that I continue to fall down into. Anyway, we're going to be doing a quick deck list profile. It's been a long time since I have done one of these. I think the last one on my channel was a Nouvelle one like 2 years ago. But you can see the deck that we're going to be talking about. But I do have plenty of other decks and an updated list for Nouvelle that we can hop in and just start grinding out some more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. So we're going to start off with this deck list today. This deck list is a very forgotten about and underrated archetype, and that is Goblins. I think this deck is, I'm not going to try and push to you and say that it's meta, but it's pretty strong. And with a very unique, not so much unique, with a very good synergy with fiendsmith, it just brings this deck to a pretty strong position that can actually end on some really good first turn end boards or make it very resilient going second. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the cards. We're going to talk about the ratios. We're going to talk about why they're in the deck and not go over every little detail on the card because that would just take forever. And then hop into a quick rank match and see if we can pull off some combos and just show off what the deck is capable of, and maybe do a designated video a little later on down the road. So this is my Goblin Fiendsmith pile 50 card list. I'm a very big fan of 50 card lists. I don't know what it is about them, but I just gravitate towards them because you can fit just enough extra stuff in there, but it still feels pretty consistent. So let's go ahead. We're going to go through the cards. We're going to talk about them real fast, and then we're going to hop into some rank. The first card is one Lurie. If you don't know the Fiendsmith engine, you probably don't play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! But basically, this is just a light fiend that you can use to go into your Fiendsmith board. Once it's discarded off of your Fiendsmith track, it can special summon itself back out, and then boom, full Fiendsmith combo. 2 Max C, not much needs to be said there. 2 Tour Guide of the Underworld, because we are playing a fiend that this thing can search out, so it's a good special summon to get some more level 3s on the board. Ghost Ogre and the Snow Rabbit, it's not only just a good hand trap, but it actually is an E-Telly target. So you can use E-Telly to get this out as a last ditch if you need to, which is a pretty neat tech, but just a good hand trap that just pop on field cards already. Speedroid Terratop, this is a rank 3 spamming deck, or rank 3 and rank 6. So you want as many rank 3 spams to the board as possible. If this is a quick special summon on your first turn that leads into Takaton board, which then special summons itself once you have the Speedroid Terratop on the board, and then boom, you have full access to your Goblin combos. 3 Ash Blossom, good hand trap, most necessary hand trap. I like sneaking in a Ghost Spell and the Haunted Mansion for pesky graveyard effects because a lot of that has been picking up, so I tech this in under 1. We play 2 Danger cards. Danger cards just allow you to randomly discard a card. If you accidentally discard one of them, you could special summon the other one from the deck. If you don't discard them, you special summon them from your hand and draw a card. Pretty straightforward. It just lets you flood the board with more rank 3s. Psychic Wheel Leader allows you, we're playing 2 of this, allows you to just special summon if you have a level 3, which is really nice. More rank 3 spam. Getting into some of the Goblin cards, we are playing 3 Doug Charger. While this card is in your hand, you could detach material to special summon it, and once you do, you could search a spell or trap. So this gets you access to any specific spell or trap that you were looking for to continue on with your plays that you need. Cloud Exploder is going to be our Graveyard Revive on normal or special summon, and has an effect to activate on your opponent's turn while this card is in the graveyard to detach 1 material. And that's very important for your cards like Big Gabunga, which activates its card based off of things being detached. So you want this thing in the graveyard for more follow-ups, so you can continue to just perform shenanigans on your opponent's turn for self-activation. Boom Mock, we play this at 1 because it's searchable, but it's once per chain you can detach a material to special summon this card. It's more self-proc, allows you to do what you need. Mean Merciless is a special summon from hand, and during your turn, if it's in the graveyard, you can detach to special summon it from the graveyard. It's just, again, more self-proc. This one's only at a 1 because it's searchable off of you and everything else that you do. 1 Lacrima of the Crimson Tears. I only play, you really only need 1 for the Fiendsmith engine. This allows you to just send a Fiendsmith card to the graveyard, which is great for your follow-ups. 2 Engravier, because this thing's limited to 2. You play it at 3 otherwise. You can discard it to find your fiendsmith spells in order to continue on your plays. Yada, 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 so on and so forth. Mostly just giving a brief explanation just in case you don't know the fiendsmith cards. If you do know the fiendsmith cards, then this is just kind of a no. Goblin, Bikers Gone Wild. This card is broken. You can normal summon this if you have no monsters, or you control a monster, and it allows you to just special summon any goblin straight from your deck. It's sent to the graveyard. You can choose any card on the field on your opponent's side to attach it to one of your Xyz monsters. So it's a free normal summon. It's a free special summon from the deck, and it yoinks any card off their board to attach it, because that's another one of Goblin's main gimmicks. Goblin's main gimmicks is detaching materials to attach other cards to your Xyz monsters as materials. That is the whole purpose of the deck. And being able to just do that just by sending this off, you can, for example, detach from Clattersploder. You can detach from Clattersploder during your opponent's turn. Detach your Bikers Gone Wild. This not only procs your Big Bonga, which we'll get to shortly, but this will also then proc this, which then Clattersploder will actually come out, and you can re-special summon this back out to the board to get another body on board to continue to just either beef up to make a wall to try and survive your opponent's turn, or just flood the field with more things to do to help break boards going second. So, very good card. You must play this at a 3. I play 1 Nibiru. Just great hand trap. 3 Biker Grand Entrance. This searches any goblin, and you can detach the turn that you activate it to special summon a level 4 from your hand. So this is everything that's not Gone Wild, which is very nice. It's more self-proc, and then while it's in the graveyard, you could banish it for a detach, more self-proc to add something in the hand. And a very neat thing about this card is that even if you don't have a goblin card currently in your graveyard, you could still activate this card for the detach. Then you can add 1 goblin card. So you can use it, detach a goblin, even though you don't have a goblin in your graveyard, to get that goblin that you detached and add it back to your hand. And then it self-procs for Big Gabonga. Very nice card. Must have it a 3. Fiendsmith Extract. Search a light. Discard a Light Fiend. You can banish it for a fusion summon. You don't use that too much, but it does come into clutch sometimes when you need it. Very crucial to the Fiendsmith engine. Bikers Grand Bash. You only play this at 1 because this is searchable, but this gives you an extra normal summon and allows you to have the effect of choosing 2 cards on the board and either making one of their levels become the other one's levels or combining their levels. And this is important specifically for your level 6s. So you can choose something like Doug Charger and Bikers Gone Wild to target Doug Charger, so Doug Charger becomes the level 6 to match level Bikers Gone Wild, so you get your level 6 or rank 6 Xyz plays. So very important card. It's searchable. That's why it's only at 1. And it's kind of a brick going on your first turn. You want to try and search this with Doug Charger. You don't want to see this in your opening hand most of the time. 3 tellies because you have plenty of targets to dish out level 3s. 1 call by, 1 cross out. Just good defensive tools for like your opponent's Ash Blossoms and stuff like that. 3 Biker Grand Breakout. This card is broken. You can tribute a monster, special summon any goblin. And this is great because this dodges effect failures and imperms. But while it's also in the graveyard, you can detach as many materials as you want during an attack. So your opponent loses 1k per detached material. It's just more self-procking. This card is very good, very useful, especially since it special summon any goblin, so you can get your Gone Wild. 2 Imperm, great hand trap. Full armored Xyz because we are playing the Xyz armor package as well in this deck. This allows you to immediately Xyz summon, and while it's in the graveyard, target your big guy right here to equip an Xyz monster so you can activate his effect, which we'll get to very shortly. And then finally, for the main deck, we have Grand Stampede. This allows you to immediately synchro summon or Xyz summon. Sorry, if you have extra bodies on board, you can immediately Xyz summon another goblin. But it also, if you control a goblin, you can detach a material to target 1 face-up effect monster and negate its effects. So it's just another negate. It is searchable off a Doug Charger. It's another self-proc, and it's a means of disrupting your opponent on your first turn. On to the extra deck. We are playing one fiendsmith Lacrima, one fiendsmith Desiree, one fiendsmith Requiem, one fiendsmith Sequence, and one fiendsmith Agnum Dei. I'm just kind of lumping these all really together because most of them really kind of just do the same thing when it comes to the links. Requiem allows you to special summon any fiendsmith from your deck on tribute. Sequence allows you to fusion summon any either your Lacrima or your Desiree. Agnum Dei allows you to target a light non-link monster, special summon it back to the board. Lacrima, I'll be completely honest, is really only in this deck to combo with your other level 6s in order to make your other rank 6s. And then Desiree is just a good first turn card because you can attach these two from the grave in order to get its very big nearly board face up target negate, which is a very good card. It also has the ability that when it's sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle a fiendsmith, a fiend card back to your deck or extra deck, and then target a card and send it to the graveyard. So it's kind of neat tech just in case they do break this card. Now, we are playing the Xyz Armor Torpedo, Xyz Armor Fortress, and the Xyz the Full Armor Dark Lancer. So anytime you have two level 3s, you want to go into this card right here. You could detach to draw a card. Great utility. You can then use this card to immediately Xyz into this card because if you read the effect once per turn, by using one rank 3 or rank 4 Xyz monster you control, you could detach up to 2 materials. In this case, it would only be 1 because we only have 1 card. Search out Full Armored Xyz, set, and pass. On your opponent's turn, you would then activate this card to immediately go into Full Armored Dark Knight Lancer. You can target one Xyz card from your graveyard and add it to your hand. You don't care about that. Once per turn, if an equipped card becomes attached to this monster, you can attach one monster your opponent controls to this card as material. It's just more disruption. It's more pressure going first. That's mostly what we want it for. So you want to banish this, attach this to your Dark Knight Lancer. Your Dark Knight Lancer can absorb, and then Armor Torpedo gives him the effect that if the equipped monster battles, they can't activate card effects, and then if the equipped monster is an Xyz monster, your opponent cannot target it with card effects, so it becomes untargetable, and they can't activate card effects when this thing attacks, which is really nice. Now on to our other goblins. Big Gabonga is our main man. We play 2 of this. Once it's special summon, you can grab any goblin from your deck, add it to your hand. If a material is detached from any monster on the board, you can target a face-up monster and attach it to this card. And during the end phase, you can attach any goblin. So this is your go-to. This is what you want on the board every single game. You want to go into this. You want to make this card. So people may be questioning, why aren't you playing it at a 3? It's just because the Fiendsmith package and everything else, you got to kind of make some sacrifices and some cuts. And 2 works just fine. But you have Gabonga out on the board because you have so many ways of detaching that you're going to be able to trigger Gabonga at any time. And then you can use its secondary effect to attach a Gone Wild from your deck to this card, so you have the additional yoink that you get off of Gone Wild. High Wave King Caesar, this is just kind of a no-brainer. 2 level 6 Fiend monsters, which you have a Fiend, you have a Fiend. This is just a great going first card. It is basically a Solemn Judgment for special summons that is not once per turn. It is once per summon. When you can detach 1 card, yeah, there is no once per turn on here. This is a non-once per turn card, so it's 2 special summons that you get to stop. This is a Solemn Judgment card. Our other cards are Goblin's Crazy Beast. Allows you to detach 2 materials to target 1 spell or trap attached to the card. Very nice for breaking some very pesky spells, but it also has a very neat effect that if a monster you control would be destroyed, you could detach 1 material. So it's destruction prevention, and it activates Gabonga. And then if it's sent to the graveyard, you could special summon this and then attach it. But you can only use its effect once per duel if you do that. But it's still just nice recursion. And then Biker's Gone Bonkers is our final card of the deck. This card is very nice at breaking boards going second. You can target face-up monsters your opponent controls up to the number of goblins you control, detach 1 material from a monster you control, and if you do, attach those monsters to this card as material. So if you have 2 or 3 cards on board that are goblins, for 1 attach, you're yoinking like 3 cards. But during your opponent's turn, you could detach 3 materials to target up to as many goblin cards as you control on your opponent's side of the board and send them to the graveyard. So it's just a great board breaking, board clearing card. So that is the deck list. We're going to go ahead and hop into some ranked. I'm going to try and show you how this deck functions and what it does and what we could set up with it going first or even going second. So we're going to get one quick match in. I'm going into ranked, not the Duelist Cup. No Duelist Cup. There's nothing but... I've faced nothing but stun. And I don't want to go through that. I don't want to keep going through that. All right, perfect. We go first. This is definitely a much better going first deck than it is going second. You do have the ability. You do have great board breaking options going second, but you really want to go first. Now let's see what we have here to try and show you the first turn boards that we can get going. I will do my best to explain as I go, but it has been a minute since I've done one of these videos, and I do want to try and make this video at least finish on a quick note. So we're going to get into this. This is a broken hand. Insane hand. Phenomenal hand. Absolutely broken hand. Alright, so they have something that they can activate. They have max C. I really don't care. We're just going to play through it just because, you know. Okay. So we're going to start off by normal summoning Tour Guide. We're going to use its effect. They have nothing. So we're going to get our Mean Merciless. We do not want to activate Mean Merciless because it is negated. We're going to go into Galbonga. Now, I could have gone into Moon Goddess here, but I want to try and focus a little bit more on a little bit more of what I'm familiar with enough, if that makes any sense. All right. We're going to use Dug Charger. We're also going to use E-Telly. I should specify the route that I prefer. Like, I prefer going with this stuff first and then following up with the Fiendsmith. We're going to grab a Wheel Eater. We're going to detach the Mean Merciless. We're going to get out Dug Charger. We are going to use Dug Charger. We are not going to use Galbonga. We are going to grab Grand Bash. We are going to use Grand Bash's effect. We're then going to use Mean Merciless effect from the graveyard. Detach the Tour Guide. We are then going to use Mean Merciless effect to get out back Gone Wild. And now we are going to go into our Fiendsmith plays. We're going to go into Moon of the Closed Heaven. We're going to go into Fiendsmith Requiem. We're going to use Requiem's effect. We're going to special summon our Lacrima. We're going to use Lacrima's effect. Send Engraver to the grave. Use Engraver's effect. We're going to return Moon of the Closed Heaven. We are then going to go into sequence. We're going to go into... Now, we couldn't go into Desiree here, but I really want to show this off. We're going to use you and you. I really want to show why this shit is beyond busted. We're going to special summon this. We're going to use Grand Bash now. 2. We're going to target you. Okay, we're going to go into our High King Caesar. We are then gonna go... I was blanking there for a second. We're gonna go into Goblin's Crazy Beast. Now this is an absolutely perfect hand. It's not going to look like this like every single game. I will tell you that right now. But it is gonna look pretty damn good. A lot of the times you can end on something pretty crazy. We're gonna detach one off of you, send Doug Charger, so we can special summon. I didn't even need to do that. I still had my normal summon. We're gonna use Clatter Sploder to get back out the Doug Charger. I don't have IP in this list, which is fine. Don't need it. Because now we're gonna go into our Armored Torpedo. Attach 2. And we drew him into a hand trap. Crazy. Nope. Need to do that. Alright. So before I end turn, we have 2 Solemn Judgments, a Yoink, self-proc in the graveyard. We have a Spell and Trap Yoink off of this. We have this attached to Goblin's Crazy Beast for another Yoink. We are going to immediately full armor XCs to turn this into Dark Lancer, to have this in graveyard for another Yoink, Infinite Imperm, and Ghost Ogre. Like, we're now going to use Gabonga to then grab Boom Mock, so we have even more self-procking. I'm going to flip this on to auto. My opponent is laggy as hell. This is awesome. Come on, man. Come on. Thank you. I'm then going to Blitz activate this. Turn you into Dark Knight Lancer. And then bam, now we have full armored Xyz in the graveyard, which we can banish this at any time for another Yoink off of full armored Dark Knight. Oh, Moye. That's cute. Didn't even activate its effect. What are you gonna do here? You're playing Sword Soul. This is really supposed to do. I think he's given up. I genuinely think he's given up. I'm not gonna lie. Unless he's got evenly matched in hand, but we have high King Caesar. Yeah, he gave up. Okay. Well, didn't really get to see all that in action, but that is a really great, like, this is the most perfect first turn board. I will admit that a lot of the times you might not be able to get access to all of this, but all of this is still on the table if you understand your combos pretty well. But I will say, even just ending on Gabonga, Crazy Beast, and Imperm, and something engraved to self-proc, that is still a very scary first turn board. Let's just go ahead and put this guy out of his misery. But yeah. Like, even if you just end on these 2 cards and something to self-proc engrave, that is still very scary for your opponent to get through, because that is multiple interruptions where you're just kind of taking their cards. And a lot of decks can have the resilience that if the cards are sent to grave, they can continue to do stuff. But if you're just straight up, yoinking their stuff. Like, if you have this attached with this and this on board, that's a yoink from Gabonga, a yoink from Gone Wild, a yoink off of a spell or trap from Crazy Beast. This is destruction prevention off of Crazy Beast. Crazy Beast can reoccur itself onto the board. And one other thing that also I didn't mention is that if you have a card like Clattersploder, read what Clattersploder says. You can target one goblin monster in your graveyard. That includes Gabonga, Crazy Beast, or Gone Bonkers. This deck has incredible resilience and recursion to just power through boards. While it's not meta, it's not cream of the crop, it is no current Draco Tail. You have the tools to just sit and compete. Because for example, with Draco Tail, one of the things with Draco Tail is that Draco Tail excels at recycling their cards on Fusion. What if you just tell them, no, you can't do that anymore? You can't just recycle your cards because I'm going to take them, you know? So I really do think that this deck is very, not only underrated, but it's very slept on and very, like, unknown. Like, not a lot of people know about goblins because not a lot of people really cared. But a very well optimized goblin deck has got me very far in a lot of duels and a lot of matchups, and has definitely put me out over on top of a lot of meta matchups. So definitely, if you guys are interested in the deck, I hope you guys do enjoy this. Let me know what you guys would change. Let me know what you guys think of the deck down below. I love this deck. It's very fun, and if you guys would like, we can do some more in-depth matches a little later on down the road. But for now, this is all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to y'all later.